Hello and welcome to another step-by-step how to tie tutorial video. This is Irwin's special. This is part of the A to Z tie-in series out of my Norwegian book. This is a fun pattern to learn and tie. Your average tier's bench may not have all the materials for this one, but here we go. This is tied on a Mustad 36890. This is a size 10. I am using a generic wooden spool, 75 cents, black thread. For the tag and the ribbing, I am using 13/100ths gold wire. The tail consists of Crest. The wing consists of bear hair. And the underwing, of course, is some black Hackle. The main portion of the body is a green silk floss. I really like the way this lays on there. So let's go ahead and remove our sample. And we will secure our blank hook in the vise. And like all good flies, this will begin but with a single wrap of thread. We'll take a few turns, securing that all the way down, and we can trim off our waist. At this point, I'm just going to go ahead and tie in this gold wire. I'm going to run that along the full length of the body. And into the bend of the hook. When I get to the bend, I'd keep my wraps of thread nice and tight to each other, building a small foundation for that gold wire to wrap into. I'm going to advance my thread forward, get it out of the way. I'm going to start with the tag. We'll take counter wraps of this gold wire. Make sure all your wraps are nice and close to each other. This is our fourth wrap. Number 5. We'll do 6 and 7. Make it lucky. 6 wraps, and there's our 7 full wraps. Alright, we're just going to let that wire hang down there. We're going to go ahead and prepare our crest feather. Typically when you pluck them off, you end up with 2 feathers. So we can go ahead and just take that under one away. And we're going to just trim the sides down just a little bit. Okay, take our thread to the tag end. And when we place our crest, we're going to measure it out 1 hook's length. And when we tie it in, we're going to start on the near side of the hook. And as we apply tension to it, it'll rotate and turn up. Once we're satisfied with its position, we'll go ahead and secure the rest of that feather down. I'm just going to tie it all in. A little bit to trim on the end. This will help keep the size of the body uniform by bringing that material all the way up front. Next, we'll take our green silk floss We'll tie that in at the front and work our way all the way back. To where our wire meets. We're going for a nice uniform body here. Alright, so this is going to be forward wraps. We're going to do one wrap, capture that gold wire, and we can just set that out of the way. Here we want to take our time, nice interlocking wraps. I'm giving my silk floss some counterclockwise spins on the bobbin with each rotation, keeping the silk floss nice and flat. Alright, once we get to the head, we can go ahead and secure the floss. And trim off our excess. Alright, next we'll continue forward with our gold wire. Again, these will be all counter wraps. These will be securing that wonderful green silk floss. Nice open spiral. Make sure your wraps are nice and even. Working your way from the rear to the front. Alright, once we're at the front, we can go ahead and secure that down. I'll trim off our excess gold wire. Use my little flush cutters. Save the scissors, get some cutters. Alright, here we go. Next we're going to take our bear hair. We're going to get a little tough. Maybe about a coffee stirrer as far as size. Alright, and like all other fur, we're going to want to strip out any of the down, the underfur rather. And we're going to run that through the stacker. I got a small pile of that bear fur because I'm going to incorporate that in some dubbing down the road on another fly. Once you have your hair stacked with the tips lined up, we're going to line that full length, including the tail. Give your thread some counterclockwise rotations. Secure that down. And I'm going to go ahead and lift up the hair. I'm going to do a couple of tight wraps underneath it, help rooster that wing up. Little thread encouragement. Excellent. This time we can go ahead and trim off our excess wing material, that bear off. Nice pair of good old Dr. Slick's razor sharp scissors work. I think the best case scenario here. Alright, now we can prepare our hackle feather for the underwing. Go ahead and trim off the lower section. We're going to line up these tips and strip them off. Once you have your fibers, we're going to run this full length of the body underneath, right about the tip of the hook. couple of wraps just to get that initial bite on it. Check, make sure it's looking good underneath. And trim off the excess. Once your underwing is secured, you can continue to work on the head a little bit, making sure everything is nice and tight and secured. Once we're satisfied, we'll finish this with a 1, 2, 3 whip finish. 1, 2, 3. And trim off our tying thread. And to secure the thread up front to build our head up, I'm going to use some Loon UV Clear Thin. Just enough to saturate and give us that nice smooth finish up front. You don't have to lay it in thick. Sometimes just a little droplet and a little bit of encouragement in all directions will do the trick. We'll give that a quick zap with the ultraviolet light. I found that it's always best to go back and really concentrate some light on there after you're done with your initial tie to get that UV resin to fully cure up. If you want, you can even take it outside and let it sit in the sunlight. Alright, I think that is it. Alright, that is the Irwin Special, tied on a size 10. Thank you for watching. Happy tying. Be sure to check out that A to Z tying series and tight lines.